Hello and welcome back to Shelf Center. This is Bryce. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thanks for liking and subscribing if this is something you end up enjoying. You never know, it could happen. Anyway, I'm trucking along with my top 100 fantasy books of all time. Today I've got 40 through 31, so we are getting there. We've got some really good ones for you today. It's kind of exciting. It's crazy. Just getting into the all-time tops of all time ever. Of all time. So let's get into it. First things first, you always start on number 40. Number 40 is Kings of the Wild by Nicholas Eames. It was like an instant, just amazing book. It was gonna make my list. I recommend it to everyone. Just the whole concept, the conceit of making a fantasy, an epic fantasy that also has a ton of classic rock references. And it somehow works out. It doesn't make any sense, but it's so perfect. It's amazing. Anyway, I've kind of been holding off to read any more in the series just because I want to wait to see that more come out, even though, to be honest, rereading this series would be a blast. Number 39, we've got Tigana. This is by Guy Gavriel Kay. This is actually the only Guy Gavriel Kay book that I've ever read, but it is amazing. It's so good. It's so epic. I understand that Kay helped Christopher Tolkien kind of put together the Silmarillion, some of those books, the histories and all that. And then, started writing his own just completely, hugely epic books. And this is one of them. This is a book where I've been known for saying this, I feel like, but a really good antagonist makes the story. And I really think just in general, a great antagonist can just make the story that much better. And this one has it in spades. Brandon, it's just such an epic story. And it is a standalone. That makes it even that much better because it can be read and then you're done. That's it. Sometimes you need a good palate cleanser standalone. All right, number 38, speaking of standalones, this is actually Black Dog by K.V. Johansson. I actually didn't have the actual Black Dog book. It did not survive my many moves. I really wish I had it. It has one of the best covers, but that's why it's got a Swanland cover just like this one. That's just another in the series. Again, it's a standalone, so that alone is awesome, but it's this epic tale. And it's a thick boy, but it's so good, every bit of it, and I just cannot recommend it enough. Number 37, we're going for the whole series, the whole trilogy, The Shattered Sigil. I actually only have book number 2. Book number 1 I only ever had on Kindle, or maybe I didn't. I'm trying to think. Anyway, it didn't survive at least a move. Book number 1, The Whitefire Crossing, is excellent. The Labyrinth of Flame, the last book, amazing. Had to be a Kickstarter to finish that last book because these were getting published by Nightshade Books when they kind of ran into some troubles. I was one of the Kickstarter backers. It was anyway. We were so glad and lucky that Courtney Schaefer was able to produce the last book in the trilogy. This is one that I constantly am saying, this is an underread, underappreciated author. If it hasn't come out by now, I did a short video that should be in a compilation video for Red Fury books shortly or already. I'll put it in a link down below if that actually has already come out. This is one of my go-to underappreciated and underread. Courtney Schaefer is just amazing. This is one of those books where it's so filled with magic, like magic tokens, magic like users, blood magic, but then also the author, Courtney Schaefer, is like a huge climber, and they go through mountain passes and you just like feel the climbing spirit. It makes you just want to go out and climb a mountain. It's crazy. I don't know how she does it and infuse her writing with it, but you can tell the passion is there. It's absolutely amazing. Number 36, I'm going with the Harry Potter series. This is a classic. My favorite is book number 5, The Order of the Phoenix. Again, one of those, Umbridge being just the best villain to hate, really made that for me. But just an all-time favorite. It's so much fun reading with the kids too. They get dark, and I like that too. So it's really a classic series for a reason that everybody's read. The movies are amazing. They've just done so well with this story. It's so great. So anyway, I have the Chamber of Secrets for some reason, what I was able to pull out. Number 35, I have a book listed for it, and it's still the case. It's going to be The Stand by Stephen King. But the problem is, since I made this list and then have been releasing videos, well, one, that I had to shoot the videos and then releasing the videos, I've still been reading books throughout the whole time. And so I figured one of the ways to remedy this, because I felt like this other book also deserved a spot on the list, and it might as well be, because I felt like it was at the same level. So I'm going with The Stand by Stephen King, but also Swan Song by Robert McCammon, which I just barely read in the month of October. So excellent, just epic post-apocalyptic, like 1,000-page books that are again, like filled with great characters, filled with, they're similar enough in that if you want a huge epic tale that follows a bunch of, like, a huge cast of characters, you know, that you know, some have to band together, some have to fight off crazy, you know, end of the world types that are killing everybody, and all this stuff going on, constant like struggle here for just survival. One, The Stand in a post-plague world, and Swan Song in a post-nuclear war world. But they both like bring that epicness to it, and I figured I'll throw them both in here. They both deserve to be there. Number 34, another Brandon Sanderson on the list. Makes the list. I went with Warbreaker. I guess this is the video of the standalones, because Warbreaker's a great, it's my go-to for introducing someone to Sanderson, because it is a standalone. You can just read it. There, I guess, might be. I know he's been kind of hinting at sequels coming someday, but they're definitely far down on the list for Sanderson. It's got a great magic system, this like breaths and all that, and a great sword. Just a lot of good things. So it's like, it's got, Sanderson's just this great magic system with this great kind of spunky characters too. It's really fun, and again, it's a standalone, so it's easy to recommend. It's my go-to for, hey, see if you like him. You know, good luck catching up now. Number 33. This one you've probably seen before in the bookstore. It's The Great Book of Amber. It's one of the only Z's in the fantasy section typically. The Great Book of Amber. It's so good. And so this is actually 10 different books. So it'll really pad your numbers if you really want to get your numbers up for your Goodreads goal or whatever goal you set. But this is so, it's Zelazny, so he's that old school type of sci-fi fantasy author. This is his fantasy epic, even though I would say Zelazny's more of a sci-fi author. But again, each of the books is like 100 pages of this. So it's awesome. I love this book. It never cracked the spine. Be impressed. Easy spine to crack, let's be honest here. It might be because I have a bunch of like the smaller novels that I pulled off that I keep collecting from bookstores. This is just a fun, like essentially these princes of Amber can like phase through the multiverse and you know, come even into like our own world, but then they like actually live in this fantasy world. There's just, it's that classic though, like nonstop action, you get characterization along the way. But you're not bogged down in like bleh and just like word vomit. It's very smooth and easy. But again, it's probably not as much as like goes into stuff that you want to see, stuff that you want to hear about, stuff you want to learn about. You're going into the action. It's going, you're all in. And I absolutely love it. It's just, you read your eyes out with them. So be ready to be moving through them. All right, number 32, another Sanderson. This time not a standalone. We're going with Mistborn. Mistborn, I mean, let's be honest, at this point, a lot of these top books they're so close. It's so hard to fit in what's the favorite. But Mistborn was awesome. It's fallen apart, this book. I absolutely love this. This is also, it's a really good starting point too, but absolutely had a blast. It's got that magic system. This has got, though, if you want a series to keep going, I mean, you've got this main trilogy in the fantasy setting, then you've got like a Mistborn Western setting of 4 books. series, which I think might be about word count wise about the same, because these are chonkers and those are a little slimmer. I don't know, I could be wrong, even though they're one more book long. But apparently there's going to be like almost like an urban fantasy Mistborn trilogy and then like a sci-fi Mistborn trilogy, so we can see how this magic system, which is based on essentially consuming metal, and then it gives you certain powers, and how it works. I have to say, one of these, there's a huge like twist in this one that got me. I was not ready for it. Thought it was excellently done, and kudos for Sanderson, because again, he's known as the magic system guy. Absolutely nails it on the magic system, but then just a really good twist for me. I was very impressed. All right, then number 31. This is a series that's near and dear to my heart. It's kind of got me back into reading, to be honest. A friend recommended these. I saw the covers and I was already like going, these are something pretty cool. But he got me back into reading in college, so I owe him a lot. But it's the Dragon Prince trilogy. I, for some reason, don't have the middle book, but these great Michael Whalen covers really are just awesome. I love them. But this is the third book. You've got this, it's an interesting magic system, a great world. Melanie Ron just really does characterization really well. But I love the magic system that it's based kind of in, like touching the sun and being able to utilize the sun for the magic. That's why they're sun runners, and they can either communicate over long distances or anyway, utilize that magic in some way. But I like that this is one that it utilizes the drawbacks of a magic system based in the sun very well. But again, this is a trilogy with a great antagonist, and that really makes you, it's kind of like warring nations and whatnot. And anyway, makes, again, like I said, it elevates a story so much to have a great antagonist, and this is one of those. Just excellent. Anyway, that has been my list, 40 through 31. Let me know your thoughts. Have you read any of these? Any new ones? What's been fun about this series is I really feel like a lot of people have been introduced to stuff that they haven't seen before. At least that's what the commenters are putting out there, that, oh, hey, I got to pick up Vlad Taltos or whatever, you name it. And so it's been really fun to see that and to just, get some interest in favorites of mine that have been favorites forever. So thanks for stopping by. Thanks for liking and subscribing, and we will catch you next time. Bye.